Mysterious stranger with knowledge of the future saves a man's life with a simple shoulder tap. Sequoia Kennedy, Mysterious Universe reports. Guardian Angel. Stories are a dime a dozen. Many people have tales of strangers appearing seemingly out of nowhere and saving them from impending doom. And at the end of this, I'm going to tell you what my very strange spiritual encounter was, and I'm sure it was an angel. I have to tell you because I don't want to keep it to myself, because it may happen to you or it may have happened to you. So many people have tales of strangers out of nowhere, but no one has ever been caught on film before. A clip of CCTV footage from Turkey, though, has emerged showing a man's life seemingly saved by a mysterious stranger with knowledge of the future. The incident occurred one evening in Adana in Turkey, where a shopkeeper, Serdar Benici, was stacking goods outside his storefront, and Benici says he heard someone call out and felt a sudden tap on his shoulder and turn around towards the street. A moment later, a truck with a loose rear gate came around the corner, and the gate swung open right through the space where Serdar Berici's head was only seconds before that. The entire incident was captured on CCTV, and you can watch it in the link in the video. The mysterious stranger is already walking towards Benchi when the truck starts to turn the corner. He walks past him and quickly taps him on the shoulder before continuing to calmly walk away. Benchi turns around with just enough time to jump backwards as the gate flies towards him. The timing of the incident is uncanny. Had the shoulder tap happened a second later, it's doubtful Serdar Benici would even have time to react. Some comments on the video have disagreed with saying that a life was saved, but a big metal gate swinging at that speed, at perfect head level, can easily end someone's life. It's certainly possible the impact would not have been fatal, but it's at the very least one of the things you'd prefer does not get answered. After the truck passed by, Serdar looks around with a face that is genuinely confused. The stranger has already passed, and the different man is putting the would-be killer gate back to where it belongs. It doesn't seem like the stranger ever explained himself or had any other contact with Benchi after the incident. So, who was this mysterious shoulder-tapping stranger? Was he some sort of guardian angel, a wizard, an employee of the truck company that knew they cut corners on the gates? It's probably just due to the low resolution of the video, but doesn't the stranger have a bit of resemblance to Serdar Benchi himself? Did this shopkeeper have a run-in with himself from the future, or an alternative universe? Unless it hits the news in a few years that a market manager from Adana, Turkey, invented the first time machine, I don't think we'll ever find out. Alternate explanation: the stranger is just somebody doing what the supremely annoying prank where you tap someone on the shoulder, the wrong shoulder, and confuse him, then chance turned him into an angel. Well, no, it could have been his angel. It could have been. Or a saint. And there are interdimensional appearances and disappearances of angels. Now I'm going to tell you what happened to me. With patience, but I want to tell you this because I don't think that these are going to be lost if they're just in me and I don't tell anybody. So I'm telling you for glorifying God. Because something had happened to my life, and it was some very strange and difficult situation of turmoil. And even though my father confessor told me to be going to church every Sunday, there were a couple of Sundays where I didn't go to church. And this particular Sunday, I was very distraught and frightened, and I was doing something in the veranda outside of my living room. It was summer morning, Sunday morning actually. And all of a sudden I see a man in front of me, out of nowhere. And he asks me for food. And I was thinking to myself, how did this man come in? I didn't even hear my gate. You know, in Greece we have gates, and our gate is very noisy. It needed oiling, it cranks and creaked and cracked every time it opened and closed, squeaked. And I didn't hear any such noise. And I said to myself, how did he get in here? I didn't even hear anything, and I'm right here where the gate, you know, I would hear the gate very easily. And he says, please, would you give me some food? And I said, I was aggravated that he was in our lot, in our garden. And I said, no, please go away. And he said, please, I have 4 children. Don't you have children? My children are starving. And I said, please go away. He called me by my married name. He said, the church told me to come here to ask you to help me. And I said, no, the church wouldn't do that, because something happened with the people at the church, and I wasn't going to that church for a long time. I was going to another church. And then something happened, and I kept on refusing him. And then he called me by my maiden surname. And nobody in that area knew my name, my maiden surname. Nobody. And then I refused him again, and he left. I told him to leave, and he left. And he left with a very saddened, dismayed face. And then when I went to the gate to see where he had disappeared. After 2 seconds, he was nowhere. He was nowhere to be found. And that really struck me as very strange. And then when I turned away from the gate to come back to the veranda, I said to myself, how did he know my maiden name? And because of the fact that he disappeared into thin air, which is an impossibility, because looking up and down the street, which was a straight street, and there was nobody else there, no cars or anything, I said to myself, oh my God, he must have been an angel asking for food. And our Lord Jesus Christ teaches us, when somebody asks you, please, you have to give them something. And I figured he must have been an angel. And I was so distraught. I said, oh my Lord, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. What have I done? And the fact that he used my maiden surname was, to me, the nail in the, it hit the nail on the head that he must have known something that nobody else did. And how was that possible? It wasn't possible. So I kept on praying to Christ to bring me another angel, so that this time I would give him something to make up for the fact that I didn't give anything to this entity. So a couple of weeks later, someone rings the doorbell outside of my gate, and it was again summer. And it was a man I didn't know, and he said, please, would you give me some food for my children? And he had such sweet little blue eyes. He says, do you know me? I said, no. He said, I'm one of the men that fixed your roof. I said, no, you weren't. He said, yes, I was fixing your roof. Because I know the men that were fixing my roof was a very short man, stubby man, and his nephew, which was a very, very handsome young man. and this man at the gate was not either of them. So I said, please, yes, I'll get you something. Please wait here. So I was so flabbergasted and so shaky, so excited and enthusiastic, I didn't know what to give him. I opened the refrigerator and I saw this huge white bar of milk chocolate that I had gotten. I said, I'm going to have this all by myself. I'm going to treat myself to some white milk chocolate. So I took that bar and ran out and gave it to him. And I said, here. And he took it in his hand as if it was a bar of gold. He said, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And he was looking at me with those beautiful little blue eyes. It was unbelievable. And he went off and he said, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I turned around. I said, yes, you're welcome. And I turned around from the gate. I counted 1, 2, 3. I turned back. He was gone. He had disappeared into thin air. Okay, I counted 1, 2, 3, turned around. He had disappeared into thin air. So that's what I'm telling you, is that yes, our angels are around us. We don't see them. Sometimes we do when it's Christ's wish that we do, when it's His divine providence that we do. And we should remember that. Be close to Christ and love Him with all our heart and soul. And He takes care of a lot of things to protect us. His angels do protect us. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you, and I'm happy about this man in Turkey. Who knows? It must have been an angel or a saint who was protecting him. We have a saying in Greek, "Ichis aio," meaning you had a saint. Aio, haj means aio in Greek. You had a saint protecting you, or an angel protecting you. You know, when somebody goes through a thing that they just missed a bad accident or something happening to them that they just got out of, and without a scratch or something, and we say, "Ichis aio," you had a saint protecting you, or you had an angel protecting you. So that's what happened here, it looks like. I'll leave a link below for you for this. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.